Manchester United are very close to announcing the deal to bring Dan Ashworth from Newcastle to Manchester United. And although he isn't going to be on the field of play, although he's not going to be putting balls in the back of the net, saving shots, or marshalling the defense, this is a seismic, this is a pivotal piece of business to set Manchester United back on the right tracks. We're going to delve into this story. We're going to look at the big revelations from David Ornstein in relation to Arsenal and their transfer activity. Plus, we're looking at a story surrounding Chelsea and Victor Osimhen. Hit the like and share button. If you don't know already, I'm launching a brand new YouTube channel called The Squad. The channel already exists. We've got amazing content on the way, and a podcast is going to be launched there with one of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. It's going to be a weekly podcast that comes out. So go and get subscribed now. Scan the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the description below to go and make yourself a member or a subscriber, really, of The Squad. Now, this news regarding Dan Ashworth, negotiations have been going on for a while. It was reported about 2 weeks ago United have made some breakthroughs. There's a demand of about £20 million to get Dan Ashworth out of his gardening leave with Newcastle. There's an article here that has come from an interview with Tim Howard, who himself is a sporting director, who claims that Man United have been papering over cracks for years, and paying 25 million, in his words, US dollars, to hire Dan Ashworth is small change based on how important a cog he is going to be to Manchester United. And I very much agree. United have needed somebody like Dan Ashworth. We needed Dan Ashworth and Omar Baradas and Wilcox for a long time. Top quality, high profile experience, football decision makers running the football club. It's of paramount importance to our progression. And although I want to see us linked to excellent young talent, wonderful players, individuals with great experience, technical ability, for me, the fact that we're fixing these areas first, building the foundation, is so key and is so critical. The news came out yesterday evening that United are very, very close to getting a breakthrough with Newcastle. And in my opinion, we're still going to have to pay a pretty penny to get him out of this deal. It's probably going to end up being around £10 million, something along those lines. And it is, a dent that you wouldn't want to have to pay. But I do believe, as Tim Howard has said in this article today, that it's going to pay huge, huge dividends. It is going to be a fruitful investment for Manchester United. And how you can gauge this is looking at Dan Ashworth's track record and everything else. But also you look at what rivals are saying, what the naysayers of Manchester United, how they react to this. And it is music to my ears. It is a thing of beauty to watch the meltdown surrounding this but how do you know it's going to work? Well, no one does. But it's the excitement of believing that it could work, that it could come off, that we're happy about. The fact is, if we were continuing to run as we were with bankers and marketers running the football club, I'd have no hope of improvement, which is why I've said for years, unless there's change at board level and decision-making level at Man United, it doesn't matter who our manager is and who we sign, it's never going to work. This is the change I've been asking for. So, of course, I'm excited about the prospect of it. But I want to get your views and I want to get your opinions on this story. Leave us your comments below. Now, moving on to Arsenal, some interesting takes from David Ornstein, of course, one of the most credible voices when it comes to football in the industry, especially when it's relating to Arsenal. And we know that Arsenal's priorities in the summer are midfield and, of course, the attack. They're scoring freely right now. They're doing amazingly well, but they want more goals. And we all know why. We understand why. And we completely and utterly get it. The story here states that Arsenal targets this summer a striker, he says here, is clearly the main focus. And they have admiration for the likes of Sesko, Ferguson, and others. And this is really a really interesting story because Ivan Toney's always been the number one target. But you're talking about £100 million. You're talking about a deal where other clubs may come in and outbid you. And I think he's great, Ivan Toney. But I also look at the likes of Benjamin Sesko. I look at the likes of Evan Ferguson. And you could argue the ceiling's higher. You could argue with lots of goals already being scored. I actually don't think goal scoring has really been a problem for the last 2 years for Arsenal. I think last season was the most goals they've ever scored in a Premier League season. So far this season, I think they've got as many, if not more, goals now than last year, meaning as much as people say they need a prolific goal scorer, the facts behind that claim don't necessarily. But look at this season. They scored 62 goals so far this season. And after 25 games last year, is it 25 games so far this season? They've scored 56 goals. Is it 20? How many games have played this season? Let me just check here. 26 games. Let me go back to last season and look at 26 games. I doubt they had more goals, though. Waiting for it to load. They had 59. So last year, they beat their all-time record goal scoring in the Premier League. This year, they're 2 goals ahead of it at the same point. Yes, they can do with another goal scorer. More goals are good, but I don't think it's... That's why I look at it and go, maybe a younger player like a Ferguson or a Sesko is going to make more sense for Arsenal. They might be able to pick him up for 20, 30, 40 million pounds cheaper, which means you can then invest more in a different area of the pitch. And that brings us onto the midfield. Because as David Ornstein has said here, he says long-term links to Zubimendi show Arsenal have substance. And I think for me, the idea of someone like Zubimendi playing in the midfield with Declan Rice is frightening. It is absolutely frightening. And again, rivals will play it down and say, no, it isn't, Terry. Oh, Terry's scared. A team as good as Arsenal are, adding even more quality, why would that not worry you, frustrate you as a rival? Even if you're really good, you don't really want your competitors getting better, surely. In reality, as a fan of your club, I know we want it to be, I want the league to be competitive as a football fan. I want Man United to have a monopoly and win it every year with ease as a Man United fan. That's just my take. But the likes of Sesko, the likes of Ferguson, Zubimendi being linked to coming into Arsenal, I can see it being a very, very exciting and interesting summer for Arsenal, whether they win a trophy or not. And winning trophies, of course, is the aim of the club, the aim of every single player, I think, in the world, barring maybe Harry Kane. But even if they don't, Arsenal are challenging. And when you're up there and you're challenging and you're one of the best teams in England, when you're one of the best teams in Europe, the level of attraction is huge. Of course, it means there's more money coming in. More money coming in means you can spend more and invest more. Listen, clubs care more about their wage bill than they do their transfer. Listen, clubs 55 to 65% of a club's expenditure is literally on wages and bonuses. It's a really important area. So the more revenue you gain, the more you can invest. You can keep your better players at the club. You can sign quality players. And it looks like Arsenal are looking to do that. Now, moving to Chelsea, I've seen this story trending and I really wanted to get people's takes. I really wanted to see what people thought and felt in relation to this. And it's looking at the situation with Victor Osimhen. Now, John Obi Mikel has said that, he has been texting, he's been chasing, he's basically being Agent Mikel, trying to get Victor Osimhen to Chelsea. And he has stated that Victor Osimhen loves Chelsea and that he wants to join this summer. Let me just scratch my eyeball and think. I want to get your view on that. I want to get your take. Can Chelsea still pull this off, sitting where they are in the league? They're still a giant club. They're still a 2 times Champions League winner. They're still in the Premier League, which is still an attraction. There is the thought that if they could score more goals, there is the feeling that if 2 or 3 more experienced players come in, they will improve massively. If they bring in someone like Almiron in the summer, Alonso in the summer, I'm just throwing out some names here, surely there would be a really big improvement as well, potentially. Well, you say there would be. We thought there'd be an improvement with Poch, and there really hasn't been once things have settled down and leveled themselves out. But can you see Victor Osimhen going? Or is it the case of, I'd love to go to Chelsea, I really want to join them, but with their current predicament, their current situation, where they stand right now in the game, is it really feasible for this deal to happen, for this deal to go through? I'm not sure. And I'm not trying to be downbeat on Chelsea. I've been accused of that recently by Chelsea fans. Like, you don't like us, Terry. You're going in on us. I wasn't going in on you in the summer. Go back and look at the nice things I was saying when it was looking positive. I just give my opinions on how clubs are performing. And when you're doing badly, when you're not in a good space, I'm going to tell you. When you're doing well, I'm going to praise you. It's not about having an agenda against any one particular club. I'm just going to give you my honest opinions. So if you want to call my opinions an agenda, fair enough. Fair enough. But I'm not going out of my way to be disrespectful. I think Chelsea could still get him. But I do feel like this summer is the last chance of signing stars of that level if they don't improve. So if next year, whether they sign him or not, They finish again 10th or 11th next year. No real progression. They're going to find it hard, Chelsea. They'll still be able to sign good players because they're Chelsea Football Club. But signing the Victor Osimhens of this world, there's a window, I think, for that. Maybe I'm wrong. And I am talking specifically about Chelsea and their predicament. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you've got a different view and opinion. That's what you're here for. I'd love to hear it in the comment section below. Viewers, remember, hit the like button before you leave, subscribe, leave a comment, but go and check out the squad. It's going to be such an amazing podcast. Plus, we have a breakfast show that goes out Saturday mornings, all going to be on there exclusively. So go and get signed up to it now. I'm so excited about the direction we're going in. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.